everyone's been giving the PR people different interpretations of this film. What's your interpretation?
You know, in reading it the first time, it definitely was impactful, the way that it talks about consequences, the way that it talks about choice and sort of the lives that we create for ourselves. That's kind of what stuck with me, and sort of what resonated inside Susan, is how when we lose our authentic self, how it can really strip us of that which makes us happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Jake?
I was always moved, even when I read the script, by the metaphor of sort of how the fiction and non-fictional world connect, and then the references within the real world and how they connect to the fictional world, and how what he remembered as a writer connects to the stuff in the narrative of the book. And I love the idea that it was a metaphor for what it feels like when your heart is broken, you know, and that these sort of terrible events that happen in this book, these murderous, terribly sad, somewhat violent moments, are these metaphors for what's happening inside of both of their hearts.
Anytime anyone creates anything, you know, we're all sealed within ourselves, and it's an expression of who we are. It's an expression of what we're trying to say.
Having watched it, I still felt the same. The most powerful message to me remained that, you know, just as a cautionary tale about worshipping false idols, and just how she ultimately chooses, you know, status and wealth over her heart due to her mother planting this seed, and how dangerous it is to have someone point a wishbone at you, and how the things we say to each other can affect our decisions, and how the decisions we make affect our identity, and how you never really know who you are or what your identity is until you learn what you have to say no to. And what she has to say no to is someone that she loves in order to have all the things that she thinks she wants. And then she lives with this repressed guilt and unhappiness, which is, you could look at, you know, as depressing, but I look at as an important lesson, and that maybe moving forward, if the film were to continue, that Susan would make different choices and find happiness.
I looked at it as sort of like a meditation on loss and grief, and you know, I think that at the core of what this movie is about, it's about a relationship that Amy and Jake's characters had together that ended in a really unfortunate way, which is the reality out there in the world that happens, you know? And I think that you see two people deal with it in entirely different ways.